Farscape Engineers Inspect the Summary video. Here we are in Boston, and we're looking at this fire escape here that has some issues. First of all, it's been painted, but it does have some issues with the grating. Structurally, they've changed all the bolts on the grate, all the treads, which is great. Changed a lot of bolts on the railings, but they've left a few behind. So again, in order to avoid the load test, you can change every single bolt, or two if you want to get an opinion affidavit, but with a waiver of liability. If the square head bolts stay behind, then we need a waiver of liability. Otherwise, you change some of these out. Looks like somebody changed the majority. I think 90% of the bolts are changed, but somebody missed a few, and we need a final. So there's a lot of caulking, which is good. The grates, as you can see, there's the issue of the grates, and that's typical. They start splitting and lose the spacers, and then these open up, and that's how your foot gets stuck. Going down all the treads, somebody came along and changed all the bolts, sealed it, changed and sealed with silicone and caulking. So there's caulking everywhere, which is great. It's only a handful of bolts here and there that if you leave that rust behind, so some areas need to get back in. Otherwise, the components typical of the treads, these spacers tend to give out, so we need to put in a reinforcement underneath, because as those rot out, this makes this front weak, and that's where people can fall through. So again, you can spot repair after you hammer test every single tread, or do it now. Change, reinforce all your treads and get some more years out of these treads. Do every single one of these, or spot repair after you do hammer test to see which ones of them are loose. But in either case, somebody that has the knowledge knows exactly what to do. A lot of cement work here, a little bit excessive cement, so they sort of smeared it all over the wall. A lot of that extra cement up there is really not doing anything. Then they caulked the bottom, which is really not doing anything, and then you got a huge crack on the wall. Both this wall and the wall below is a huge crack, which is not really affecting the fire escape, but it's part of the whole fire escape area and the one below there. So we need a mason to get in here, not because of our situation, but because this whole corner has got masonry issues that need to be dealt with. So major structural there, major structural there, and it could affect the fire escape if not properly repaired. So as you can see, grating bad, spacers missing, so all this grating. But again, some bolts, I think 90% of these bolts got swapped out and sealed, but then some were left behind and nobody was paying attention, and it didn't get picked up. So again, the treads need to be spot repaired, because some of them are showing the rust in the connection, or you just reinforce all of them and you don't have to deal with that anymore. Not now, not into the future. We got a release arm here so that this fire escape does come down when you release it. So here's a release arm. And because of landscaping, we need to make that a base needs to be made down there so that it actually hits the ground. But there's a bend on this cantilever, because right now this right side comes underneath this staircase and hits it. So that doesn't go all the way down to the ground. So this cantilever unit needs to be, it looks like something hit it from there, hit it this way, causing it to do this. So this whole cantilever area needs to be reworked. Again, the grating spacers are missing, so for sure all your treads and your grating need to be addressed if you're going to reinforce it. 100% of all the treads have been rebolted, so that's not a concern. Again, the spacers on the treads is my concern, so each one of these needs to be individually verified. No welding, because this is it's got lead on the fire escape, and there's a lot of cement activity, but it's kind of excessive. Like this is not cement. The cement area is right here, but they covered here and around here, and it's kind of a little bit sloppy, because this doesn't need to be this big. It had to be just in this area. But again, there's nothing showing that there's no spalling that we see major, but it's kind of a little bit excessive on the cement. All these treads have been rebolted. All those treads have been rebolted. So really, it's the cantilever that needs to be worked on. And again, I'd say at least 90% of all the bolts were swapped out on this thing, but not everyone. So see, square head bolts original, square head bolt right there, changed here, changed here. You know what I'm saying? So it's here and there, but a very minor few. Didn't get swapped out, and I don't think anybody picked up on the reinspection what the issue was. So let me go down backwards, and you'll see what I'm talking about on the cantilever. The cantilever box was sealed. See all the sealing all the way around the cantilever box. Again, it's all welded. There is a safety concern here. A tread that was here fell out. So I don't know what happened here, but there used to be a tread. Between here and here, there's no tread. There's a tread that fell out that used to be here. So this is a life safety concern, a life safety issue. So we need to get a tread back in here. And this could have happened when this thing could have gotten hit by a car or something, or a truck backing in, and basically could have popped that tread, would have fell into the ground, but nobody picked it up. But there's definitely a welded tread that used to be here. Here's the weld knob right here, where it would have been. Again, all your treads going down on the cantilever. And as you can see, she's underneath on the left side. She's underneath the stairs, so she's definitely banging into. And I'm coming down, and she's dangling over the dirt. She's not even touching the dirt over here.
So you gotta help me on the other one.
Okay.
Different style.
All right. So, man, you want to put this back up?
Yeah.
We got some debris, some wire up there, but again, all new bolts. So somebody's definitely switched out the bolt. And this is a two-man operation. Usually it's somebody up above. I'll throw it up, Manny.
Go ahead.
So he's basically resetting the cantilever. She's a little tight, so he's resetting the cantilever so that it can drop when released. Okay, so that's set, ready to go again. So again, the fire escape has issues with the treads to reinforce them, the grating to reinforce it, and again, some minor rebolting that was left behind. Otherwise, 90% of the bolts were done. Cement work, a little sloppy, but it's no major spalling coming out of this. And the fire escape is painted. Could use a spot paint, but she's got plenty of paint on it, so she'll last at least another 5 years if you just give it a quick spot paint to some of these bolted connections. Any questions? Fire escape engineers, inspect the summary video, 866-649-0333.